organic civilizations rise, evolve, advance, and at the apex of their glory, they are extinguished.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Mother Mantis. I've been out of town for a little over a week. I had a family emergency that is still ongoing, but at least I have a few days of sort of de-stressing and whatnot, and I was really anxious to get this video out. So this video is going to be about choosing the synthesis ending for the Mass Effect trilogy. Most people come to their endings and they pick them using various reasons like, this is the best ending because Shepard gets to live in the end, or this is the Paragon ending because Shepard gets to watch over everyone and all the wars end. When you're thinking about what ending works best, I think you have to recall two things in making your decision. Number one, Commander Shepard was given the mission to spread awareness of the incoming Reaper threat and unite everyone against that threat for the most challenging conflict the galaxy's ever faced. And two, discovering a means by which to destroy the Reapers. That's the stated mission through all of the games, and the intent with which Shepard approaches the Catalyst in the final scenes. So when the Star Child throws out two other options at you, it's kind of a plot twist. And you really have to think about whether destroying the Reapers really accomplishes the more explicit goal that Shepard really has throughout all of the games, which is really less destroy the Reapers than it is save everyone from extinction. I've got notes that I'm referring to, which are just off to my right here. So if I look away from you, it's because I'm referring to my notes, because I got a lot to say on this topic. So the Star Child will offer you three options. Synthesis seems to me to be less radical than control, but it still requires Shepard to make a complete paradigm shift from his stated mission in order to pick it. And I'll be honest, I began this video with the idea of presenting synthesis as the best outcome, just like I did in my Destroy video, because I wanted to make a video on all three endings, in each ending arguing for that particular option. But I have to be honest, it's not really working for me. I just can't get myself to a place where I can convincingly present synthesis as a real option. Even if I were presenting it as a viable option that I myself just wouldn't choose. I just have problems with it. So today I'm going to talk to you about my thoughts and conclusions after completely overthinking this as to why I think synthesis doesn't work. But first, I do want to say that all of this is subjective. Every ending has enough plot holes and ambiguity that you can make a case for any one of the three endings, as long as you fill in the details in your own story. And that's the way it should be, because it's a single player RPG. It's a singular personal experience. Also,
Relationship is symbiotic, organic and machine, intertwined, a union of flesh and steel. The strengths of both, the weaknesses of neither. I am a vision of the future, Shepard, the evolution of all organic life.
one of the things I dislike about the idea of merging with the Reapers is, and maybe this is just me, that earlier in the games, they're portrayed as being something that is neither organic nor synthetic. They are basically beyond our comprehension. This made the Reapers super mysterious, and it made them terrifying. So Mass Effect is a world of limitless technology, advanced information, and the Reapers were the one thing throughout the entire trilogy that defied explanation. So when it turns out that they're just basically giant constructs that have perverted their original intended purpose, and we can merge with them, it just felt kind of like a letdown. I liked it better when it was Sovereign telling us in his godlike and unemotional voice how insignificant we are.
We impose order on the chaos of organic evolution. You exist because we allow it, and you will end because we demand it.
According to the Catalyst, synthesis gives organics the power to understand how the AI's mind works and vice versa. So synthetics get to understand the organic psychology, moral systems, and the like, and organics gain tech understanding, longevity through technology, and an end to conflict with systems they create getting too smart for them, essentially. The idea being that everyone now shares a hybrid organic synthetic DNA that gains them understanding of each other and brings permanent end to the synthetic organic conflict. But I think you can have a perfect understanding of someone and still be in conflict with them. The first line of the extended epilogue for synthesis has EDI say, "I am alive."
I I am alive. All of us. Synthetic and organic.
with the implication being that she wasn't alive before. But we just spent 2 full games treating her as a real person. In Mass Effect 2, you have the option to treat Edie as equipment rather than as crew member, but it's kind of the asshole thing to do. Her entire story arc is about her becoming sentient and learning to be sapient. I know that Edie, the body, was made possible with Reaper technology, but she was arguably sentient long before that. Blue box technology, after all, has existed for a long time and has been tightly controlled by the Council for hundreds of years. The Citadel archives record an unnamed mech AI asking for mercy and due process before being gunned down by CSEC. And the Geth had been sentient and arguably somewhat sapient since the Morning War. I mean, asking if you have a soul denotes a fairly advanced philosophical thought capability. It certainly scared the crap out of the Quarians. If those AIs weren't sentient at that time, then why is it presented as such an awful option to have destroyed them? This is an issue that I have with the synthesis idea. Edie was a leap ahead because of Reaper technology, but I don't agree that Edie and the Geth are only now sentient because of synthesis or Reaper code. I disagree because by any practical definition, AIs were becoming sentient a long time ago and were on their way to becoming sapient. That's why the Council and the Quarians tried to squash them.
I'd rather die than live under the rule of those machines.
Do you really believe the Reapers will let us live?
You're like every other poor bastard in this place. A tool Sovereign can use, then cast aside. I'm not like you. I'd rather die fighting than live as a slave.
I also don't believe that the purpose of all life is the furtherance of some single evolutionary goal. The catalyst presumes that everyone it has deemed worthy of harvesting would want to ascend, so it forces that on all organic life. In the epilogue, Edie speaks about how immortality may now be achievable.
As the line between synthetic and organic disappears, we may transcend mortality itself. To reach a level of existence I cannot even imagine.
I have no desire to live forever, and I take issue with the notion that striving for immortality is the apex of evolution. Attaining a sort of stasis where everyone is homogenized may appeal to the reasoning of a programmed construct because the apex of a perfect system is something that's consistent and repeatable to the same degree of reliability over and over and over forever. But I do not believe that most organics would see it that way. People value originality, imagination, and quirkiness, all of which are intentionally not perfect. The catalyst cannot understand these subtleties of organic life, and it has no desire to because it's selling you its version of utopia. And that's my problem with synthesis. It's presented as a kind of utopia. No one dies, wars will end, a new era of prosperity will reign across the galaxy. Why would you choose anything else? It happens to be the preferred choice of the catalyst, who, in every instance and action up until this very moment, has sought to utterly subsume and destroy you. Utopia is what cult leaders promise, only after you're in, you find out that you're a virtual prisoner and the cult leader gets to have sex with all the women.
The Reapers systematically obliterated our people. World by world, system by system, they methodically wiped us out. No offer of surrender was ever given. Our enemy had a single goal: the extinction of all advanced organic life.
The Star Child explicitly tells you that he embodies the collective intelligence of all Reapers. So as far as I'm concerned, he is the Reapers. He has directed everything the Reapers have done up until that very moment that Shepard is having the conversation with him. And many of his actions are in direct contradiction to what he says is his mission. For example, indoctrination. Indoctrination does not preserve organics, it destroys them.
Only their indoctrinated slaves were left behind, abandoned. Mindless husks, no longer capable of independent thought. The indoctrinated soon starved or died of exposure.
Or the mass relays. By creating the mass relays, the Star Child speeds up the cycle by which species achieve the level of advancement that then makes them targets of the Reapers. Why do that?
Some worlds were utterly destroyed. Others were conquered, their populations enslaved. These indoctrinated servants became sleeper agents under Reaper control. Taken in as refugees by other Protheans, they betrayed them to the machines. Within a few centuries, the Reapers had killed or enslaved every Prothean in the galaxy. They were relentless, brutal, and absolutely thorough. Our worlds were stripped bare, harvested by the indoctrinated slaves. Everything of value, all resources, all technology was...
I've always said that you can't trust the Star Child, but it's not really as simple as saying that he always lies. I don't think the Catalyst either always lies or always tells the truth. The Catalyst has an understanding of reality that's based on what it was programmed to believe, and it has an underlying mission that for a millennia has informed everything that it does. And that assumes that the Catalyst's mission is built on a solid foundation in the first place. Why is it a given that all synthetic races will always rebel and destroy their creators? But considering that the Leviathan invented the Reapers to solve their own problem in their own time and ended up destroying themselves in the process, I'd say the Leviathan's judgment leaves a lot to be desired.
Your survival depends on stopping them, not in understanding them.
During the ending, the Reapers play you using this boy who appears the way he does because he's right out of Shep's memories. The Star Child discourages you from choosing control. He discourages you from choosing destroy, both of which options effectively eliminate the Star Child himself. Synthesis is the only option that gives the Catalyst something close to its original mission objective. The Reapers are preserved. Everyone gets the Reaper code grafted onto their DNA. That's synthesis. Welcome to the cult.
We are your genetic destiny. Evolution cannot be stopped. We are the harbinger of your destiny. We are the harbinger of your perfection. We are the beginning, you are the end. Embrace perfection. Struggle if you wish. Your mind will be mine.